Oh, you went straight to it there, didn't you?
I'm getting
You're getting very good at it. Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel, which is all about beauty, and Happy New Year. Can you believe we're already in 2022? I really do hope and wish all of you guys the best for this year, and I hope that you reach all of the goals that you've been manifesting for 2022. This month is just going to be amazing in terms of educational content for you guys. I have created some amazing content. I can't wait for you guys to see it, but we're going to kick off 2022 with natural makeup for mature skin. Now, as always, if you do like this video, then please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Don't forget you can also catch me over on Instagram, where you can follow me for some daily beauty news, some PR unboxing, product reviews, and you get to see what I get up to when I'm not filming on YouTube. Now let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so we have a clean face. I'm going to just apply my moisturiser. I'm using the Wind Medina Dew moisturiser. My mum's really trying to be professional throughout this video. So I'm just smoothing this over the skin. We've used this moisturiser before in a previous video, and honestly it is really, really good on the skin. And because we're doing a natural makeup look, we don't actually need a primer, because this moisturiser in itself is great as a kind of almost like a smoothing primer. So it does help to keep the skin hydrated, and it's great if you have dry skin. It's great for mature skin, any kind of skin type. And because we are going for a natural look, we want that natural dewiness to come through. So this is like perfect for that because it doesn't dry up too quickly. I'm also using the Ulla Henriksen Wrinkle Blur Eye Cream, and I'm just applying just a little bit around this area here and just smoothing that upwards and outwards. I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm using the shade Ginger. I'm just applying a bit on the eyelids here because I want to cover them up to give a nice kind of clean finish. And I'm just using my damp beauty blender to just buff that into the skin. Now the reason I'm using this concealer is because it does still leave a kind of natural finish to the skin. It's not overly heavy, it's not too thick, and it also has a really nice kind of just dewiness that comes through after a little while. So for a natural look, I think this is perfect. Now, although we are going for a natural look, we do want to still get kind of decent coverage to make sure that we cover up any darkness and any areas where maybe there's just pigmentation, or we just feel like we need that even finish to the skin. So if you need to build up, don't be afraid to kind of build up that concealer and add more. And that's why I'm using this concealer, because the NARS Radiant Creamy Finish Concealer actually is great as a buildable concealer. You can keep adding more if you feel like you need more coverage. Now I'm using the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder, and I'm just pressing that into the skin. So I'm just pressing it into the eyelid so we can make sure that concealer stays put and just give it a really nice natural setting, because some powders can be a little bit thick. So don't think that all translucent setting powders are the same. You will find that some are a little bit more finely milled than others, and this one is super fine. I feel like it just adds to that really nice evenness on the skin. Now I'm going to apply the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Sunrise, and I'm just going to apply this on top of the eyelid. I'm stretching the eyelid a little, so that I can get right into the crease. I'm applying it all over the eyelid, but not above the crease. So this is a really nice colour for the daytime because it's just a very natural shade. It's not overly bright, it's not overly pigmented, and it's easy to apply. Now I'm getting my Zoeva 231 brush, and I'm just pressing inwards. So you can see I'm just going like this to make sure that I'm kind of pushing that colour inwards and just making sure it all blends in nicely. I'm going to do the same on this side. So as you can see, we've got a really nice kind of base on the lid, and it's given it like a slight sheen, but it's a very, very soft pink. Nothing too overly bright, and I think it's great for a natural daytime look. Now I'm using my Nude Sticks pencil in the shade Rustic. It's Rustic Grotto. So it's almost like a slightly bronzy shade, and I'm just applying a very small amount to the ends of the lash line here. So only here. I haven't actually applied it anywhere else. And now I'm going to just stretch the lid so we can really get hold of that colour and go over it so it blends. So it's created a little bit of depth on the eyelid. Same thing here. Now I'm using the same concealer as we used earlier, and I'm just going to apply this to some key areas on the under eye area first. So I'm just creating a little bit of a lift here. That's why I'm applying the colour there. Now I haven't applied the mascara and finished off the eyes yet, because I always feel that I want to make sure that the base is done so that I don't kind of drop any powder on the mascara. So I always like to do that last. Now I'm just going to apply this to a few areas which I feel are slightly dark, so there's slight pigmentation, just to brighten those areas up. Now I'm just going to start buffing the concealer into the under eye area. And keeping all the colour in that area that I've applied it. I don't want to spread it out too much. Now I'm going to start buffing in my foundation. I'm actually using a skin tint because we want a really nice natural finish, and I'm using the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Foundation or Skin Tint in number 12. I'm going over the area where we've applied concealer because that brightness will still come through. Now what we're doing is just kind of adding a veil of colour all over the face. So as you could tell, before we applied this skin tint, the face was very bright in certain areas, and it was kind of like white, like too white in certain areas, and that's because we had that kind of extra brightness. I'm using a much warmer skin tint on top so that it kind of like helps that brightness to come through, but then it also balances everything out. Now before I actually set this base, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Beach Stick, and I'm just going to apply this along the cheeks because I want to add some colour. So I'm going to add some colour, add some highlight, and then we're going to set. Now, honestly, the amount of colour that you use is really up to you. I'm going to just keep building up until I feel like I've got the right amount of colour coming through on the cheeks, because we're going for a natural look. But at the same time, we do want it to look kind of fresh and glowy, and we want some colour to be on the face. So some nice kind of vibrant cheek colour without it being too bright. Do you think you'd use cream or a stick now that you've seen it being applied?
I would do, yes, yeah. I've never used the cream one, but I wouldn't mind trying it.
It's much easier. Now I'm using the Ilia Liquid Light, and I'm just going to apply a little bit along the cheekbones here. And I think I'll apply just a little bit along the forehead, on the chin. Now I'm also going to use my Beauty Blender for this, and I'm just going to press this in. I'm dabbing it on top. I'm keeping all of that product in that area, and you'll see how this gives a really nice highlighted look there. I'm using all cream products because I want it to just look very natural. I want the skin to still show through, but the skin to be perfected. I don't want anything to look too powdery. You may be wondering, why have I applied it up here and why have I applied it on the cheek? Well, the reason I've applied it a little bit on the forehead is because I want that dewiness to come through on certain areas, like key areas, like a little bit on the forehead, a little bit on the chin. Doesn't mean the cheekbones are the only place that you can apply it. Now I'm going in with my Hourglass Veil Powder, look up for me, and I'm just going to press this into my under eye area here. I'm using my Real Technique setting brush for this. Now obviously I want to apply the powder here because I don't want a shiny under eye area, and I definitely don't want any creasing. So I'm just going to keep pressing that in. And I'm also going to go into other areas. I'm using the Dual Brow Palette and also my Zoeva 317 brush. And I'm just going to shade in the brows very lightly, nothing too heavy. I just want to shape them and fill in any areas that are a little bit sparse. Now you've got to make sure that you use the tip of the brush. There's no point using it like this because you're not actually utilising the correct part of the brush. You've got to make sure you use the tip, so make sure that you actually hold the brush slightly more upright. I'm using the Natasha Denona Mini Sunset palette, and I'm using the shade Halo, and I'm going to use my 231 brush to just apply this on the inner corners, and this is just to open up the eye area a little.
Very important to use the right brushes, right?
Yeah, I would say the brushes are important, but also you can use your fingers for a lot of it if you're working on yourself. But even for cream eyeshadows, to be fair, you can use your finger. So the pencil eyeshadow that we used, you can apply it in the same way where we actually put it all over the lid, and then I used a brush. But because I've got longer nails, I don't want to use my fingers. But you yourself, with shorter nails, can easily just dab over, just kind of move it around. And that's the great thing about pencil eyeshadows and cream eyeshadows. genuinely, for your age, I would always recommend more cream and liquid textures, because you've seen for yourself like the difference it makes. Like your skin still looks like skin, even the eyeshadow, it doesn't look powdery. And when you use powder products, the problem is it can end up, it builds up and it looks more dry, and the worst thing that you can have is on mature skin or skin with lines and wrinkles or any kind of like lack of elasticity. The worst thing you could do is use a powder on there, because it will dry out, make it look more dry and just enhance any lines that you may have. I'm also going to apply some of this eyeshadow just on the lower lash line here, very close to the lash line. And again, you could actually blend that with your finger. I'm just going to get a brush and just kind of smooth it over. And the reason I'm applying it to the lower lash line is because if you only apply it to the top, sometimes it can look a bit disconnected. So you don't have to apply it to the lower lash line, but I have applied it because I think I just want to kind of, it finishes it off for me. Now I'm going to go in with the NARS Climax Mascara, and I'm just going to really go from the roots here and just kind of thicken up the lashes. I'm going to use the Makeup Forever lip pencil in Wherever Walnut, and you've really got to make sure you have a nice sharp pencil for this, because you want to make sure you shape the lips nicely. I'm using the NARS lip colour in Summer Fire, and this is a really nice daytime pink. It's also quite hydrating, it's not drying at all. And I'm just going to dab this over because I don't want a full-on harsh lip colour. I just want something very natural.
What make was the mascara that you used?
It was the NARS Climax Mascara. You like that one?
Yes, I really like it because it's very, the lashes look very long.
Look very long.
And I love the lip colour as well.
Do you like the lip colour?
Yes.
So how do you feel about the fact that we've only used powder on your under eyes, just a little bit, and a few other areas? Like everything else that we've used is a cream and liquid texture, because that's not what you're used to, I'm assuming.
No, I'm not.
Because I feel like you still, if anything, I feel like you used to use more liquid and now you've gone towards powder.
Yes.
So tell me why that is, because that really intrigues me, because I know as a makeup artist working on hundreds of different skin types that as you get older and as your skin becomes slightly more dry and lack of elasticity and less firm, I know that liquid is better for your skin. So why is it that you have kind of transitioned to powder?
I think once there came a time when I realised that you can get the foundation as a powder.
Okay, like basically a powder foundation.
Powder, I found that much easier.
So is it more so the ease than anything else?
Yes, it is, yeah. It's just quicker.
Like now that you've seen this finish, how your skin looks, would you prefer this over your powder foundation?
No, this is very nice as well. It's really nice, but I wouldn't stop using mine. Sorry.
Okay. You wouldn't stop using your powder. Is that mainly because it's just quick and easy?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So we know the priority here. The priority here is ease. Okay, I get it. So maybe we could do another video sometime, which is going to be a bit of a challenge for me. I think if I go out and try and find the best products, which I think give you this kind of finish, so where your skin still looks like skin, but it looks flawless,
yes, yeah.
but very easy application. I think I'm going to set myself that challenge. I'm going to look for the right products so that I'm going to come back with you and do another tutorial where we actually do a whole look, which is purely based on ease of application.
Yeah.
Oh, you went straight to it there, didn't you?
I'm getting
You're getting very good at it. Okay. So there you go, that's how I do natural makeup on mature skin. Now, don't forget, if you have any questions about this look, let me know in the comments box below. I always reply. And also, all of the products that I use in my videos are always listed in the description box below. So all you need to do is click on the links and it will take you straight to the exact product or the closest match that I could find. Now, as always, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.